Manager Goddess, I'm back here with another deck profile today. So today we'll be doing the new Blue Wave from the Clan Booster 2. So first off, my starter is Dagger Master Draco Kid. It's a Counterblast 1 GB1. Put this in your soul, choose up to one of your Vanguards with Blue Wave in its name. At the end of the turn it gets Wave 2 or more. When it attacks a Vanguard, draw a card, and Wave 5 or more when this unit attacks the Vanguard, it gets +1 crit until end of battle. So it's a pretty good effect. It combos very well with the things in this deck. And I'll see if I can go over some of the combos at the end. So trigger lineup, I run 4 draw triggers. This is the go into soul, well it's Battle Siren Malika, but it goes into soul +3k to something. It's pretty good with a lot of your restanders because you have a lot of restanding Vanguards here. So it'll be really nice to do that. Then I run 8 crits. So the first crit here is the Supersonic Sailor, and it's a +3k when it goes on the soul or something as well. Well, actually no, not +3k. Rather, it is a flip damage on flipper. So turn something face up. It's really good because this deck is a very counterblast heavy deck. So yeah, so you can flip counterblast with that. Then I run 4 Brutal Troopers. This is a Blue Wave card from the new set. Put this card at the top of your deck. If you have a Vanguard Blue Wave in its name, choose up to one of your Vanguards to end the turn. It gets Wave 2 or more. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, draw a card, shuffle your deck. So, again, pretty nice. Lets you do extra draws because of the whole Blue Wave synergy here. And second attack or more. And then, of course, 4 heals. And this is the just a Blue Storm Fleet heal. Just a random heal. Anything can do. So, going on to the grade 1s. I run, of course, 4 perfect cards. This is the Plato, Ocean Keeper Plato. It is a that can only guard the Vanguard, and if there's a copy of it in the drop zone, you can unflip a damage. So, because of all the counterblasts that you would use in this deck, it is very important to run that one. Then I run 3 Kelpie Riders. It's not as good because it's not a Thavis deck, but it is it's a stride unit thing. It lets you use, strides. Strides are very important in the meta, of course. So 3 of these. You can up it to 4 if you'd like, but I find that 3 is pretty comfortable for now. Then I run 3 Stasias. This is the one that GB1. This can attack from the back row, and if it does, it gets +3. So it's a 9k back row attacker. You would use it with like Malika or whatever, and you make it like a 12k back row attacker, and so on. So it's very good to combo with. Then I run 2 Bright Shooters. This is another Blue Wave card, new card. I don't think it's worth a double rare slot, but it's Wave 4 or more. At the end of the battle, this unit boost. If you have a Vanguard with Blue Wave in its name, which is any of your grade 3s, choose up to 1 grade 3 from drop zone and put it into your hand. So it lets, if you drop the grade 3 to stride with, it lets you get it back. So 2 of those. Then 2 of the Seagull Soldier, which I think is better, actually. So it's a Wave 4 or more. At the end of battle, this unit boost. You can return it to your hand. Of course, it's a GB1. It's nice because it gives you extra cards. Or, well, you can also use the other effect, which is Soul Blast 1. When you place in the rear, if you pay the cost, you can choose one of your other units and it gets +3 until end of turn. So again, to Stacia or whatever. So, moving on to the grade 2s, I run 3 Magnum Assaults. Pretty much one of the bread and butter cards of Aqua Force right now, I feel. It comes in the trial deck, 2 of them per deck anyway. It's a once per turn GB1, and it's actually a counterblast. It was errated. At the end of battle, this unit attack the Vanguard. If you have a unit, if this unit was boosted during the battle, you pay the cost if you stand it and gets +2k until end of turn. So it's the essentially the boost effect unit for Aqua Force. So 3 of those. Then I run 4 Tidal Assaults. You can lower this number to 3 again with the +3k. 12k first swing and so on, and then you can use the booster for the second swing and so on. But I just have 4 because it's worked better for me that way. But you can pretty much switch the 3rd of this or the 4th of this with another one of the Magnums. So then that. Then of course I run 4 of the new Blue Wave Foivos. So it's Foivos, and he is a Wave 3 only. Counterblast 1 when this attacks a Vanguard. If you have a Vanguard with blue wave in his name, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets +2 turn to turn, and to end of the battle, stand it. So it actually is an 11k. It swings for 11 if you get it on the third turn. So if it's Wave 3, it will swing for 11. And then, of course, you get to stand it, and it will swing for 11 again, or with a booster, or so on. So again, it's really good there. So there's some really neat combos that you can do with all these cards, which hopefully I can show you guys a few. So, moving on to the grade 3s, I run 4 Tetra Drives. Again, it's blue wave. You need to get your grade 3, and the extra 3/3s can be used as stride fodder. You'll never really use this limit break ability, unless you really have to, and I guess it'd be pretty nice to stand or whatnot, but yeah, it's mainly there for the namesake. Then 4 Anger Boils. So this is a lot of effects here. First off, it is a GB2, waved second only, so it has to be the second attack. When this attacks a Vanguard, it gets +5k to end turn, so it'll be 16, and then you can choose a rear guard, stand it +10k for that rear guard to end turn. Then it has an on-stride effect that it can only use if you stride Tetra Boil on it. So it doesn't work with any other unit that you stride over it. So it gets 3k. So choose itself gets 3k, and then when on the wave second turn, when this attacks a Vanguard, choose up to 2 of your rear guards, stand them, and they each get 2k or 3k rather. So he'll be well, you know, if you stride, it'll be 26, of course. So swing for 29. And again, the +3k from the trigger or the seagull will then make it swing for 32. And then, of course, +3 to each of the other things can be useful as well. So, onto our grade 4s. I run 1 Aristotle. You can actually run 2 of him, but he's really good in that he's a wave 3 or more. Counterblast 1, when it attacks a Vanguard, you can kill an opponent's rear guard. So, it's nice because it will go off no matter what, as long as you can counterblast 4. And most likely, you're probably going to choose this as your first stride, no matter what. But, yeah. So it's really good for that. And he's a pre-release promo as well. Then, of course, I run Tidal Bore from the trial deck. And it is a, when if it hits in a third battle or more, you can draw a card. Choose a card from your hand and you can call it to rear. I've never really seen this hit, so I guess it's very much pressure because it's usually guarded. So that's pretty nice. Then I run 4 Tetra Boils. This is the star of this deck in a sense. It's a grade 4, Counterblast 1, choose a face down card named Blue Wave, itself essentially, from your G zone, and it's GB2 by the way, and turn it face up. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, if you have a heart with Blue Wave in this card name, you may pay the cost. If you do intend to turn it, it gets drive -1. So you can only swing for 2 drive. But then, of course, you can wave 4. The 4th attack has to be a rear guard. And if it's or more, then you can stand this. So after a rear guard attacks a Vanguard, the 4th attack or more, you can stand this. Or actually, 4th time only, sorry. Well, whatever. So this is going to be the 5th attack when it stands, if you can get it to stand. Then, of course, the last thing, I run 2 Lambros. He's probably the best card in Aqua Force, but he is a choose a face down card itself. Turn it face up when this attacks the Vanguard. If it's a 4th battle of that turn or more, you can do that cost, and then you can stand 2 rear guards. And then, if you have 2 or more G cards are in your G zone, you can, those units that get standing get +10k. So an important thing to note is that if you use this as your first stride for whatever reason, you do stand 2 rear guards, and so you could actually replace Aristotle and Tidal Bore with 2 more of these and run 4/4. The reason I don't do that though is my first stride, I typically don't have the resources to really safely get to the 4th attack. So without overextending myself too much. So that's why I do not do it. So an example field with this deck. So ideally, you want to write Anger Bowl. Of course, you want to have this here, which this gets killed a lot. A lot of people do not like your starter going off. So I mean that is pretty much expected. maybe something like this. And maybe something like that. So maybe something like this. Let's see if I can think this through correctly. So you stride it. You put this in soul. So +2, or well, this gets to draw. And of course you can do some shenanigans like tons of these and have yourself like, let's say you put 4 of these, okay, 4 of these, and this. So now it's whenever you attack, if it's the second wave or more, you gotta draw 5. Then put this on, I guess. And actually, let's not do this. Let's do this +3 to this. So Soul Blast +3 to this. So first attack, swing with these, counter blast or whatever, and then this. So that's swinging for 16. Counter blast to stand this, and then you swing with this. Probably not ideal, but swing with this. Boosted by the her. So this is what? 29 plus 3, 32 plus 6, 38. So 38. Use the effect, of course. Stand this +3. So this is now can attack for 15. Stand this +3 is a 10k booster. So swing that. Alright, second attack. Then, of course, third attack. It's got to be this. So you wouldn't boost if they don't have 11, or if they're, if they didn't get a trigger. If they got a trigger, you wouldn't. You would boost, but otherwise you can just attack with this. Counter blast 1, of course. So it gets +2 when it swings, so it's 11. And at the end of the third, stands. Now you can attack with either one you want, or this, right? So attack with this if you want 15 to something in the front with Vanguard. Stand this, and now again swing it. So just remember, each time you swing with this, it's 2 drive checks, and because I put all this stuff in here, now it gets an extra crit, and it's lets me draw 5 cards. So there, 10 card hand. I've actually been able to do this in some games, but overall, that's a pretty cool strategy what you do. You can also do some crazy stuff with Lambros, but that's like default Lambros stuff with Stasias and whatnot. I'm swinging for that, but this is why this is really good. This is not as good. If I were to replace a grade 1, I would replace him. Probably add 1 more Seagull or 1 more Stasia, and have something, and maybe add another one of these copywriters. Now these are better for Thavis decks, but the problem is this. It's kind of generic. All it is a 7k that you might use as a booster, I guess, if you need to. But it's a it gives you stride. But it's a safer bet than having this return back to you. So then, of course, with the other field that we had, when this attacks, of course, it's going to be the 4th. So you're going to be able to get more stuff with it. But that's some of the shenanigans you can do. Overall, you would have more. Lambros is good as well. He's really fun, but that's kind of makes it generic Lambrosy. Whereas this can net you a lot of pluses, and it's very terrifying to fight. But it's counter blast. So there's been some games where I totally misplayed because I forgot it costed a counter blast. So there's just a lot of counter blasting with this, and I think there were some other things in here maybe. And this, I think that was the reason why I actually had that at 3. Other than the other one worked better, and this cost a counter blast. So overall, though, really good. Oh, and this is a counter blast as well. So it's a very good effect, but it's a counter blast. So Overall, it's a very fun deck. I don't think it is as good as Genovia's early game. If you can get to end game, I think this beats out Genovia's. Probably about the same as a Thavis deck, but I'll have to do some more playtesting with my variant of Thavis before I get you guys back on that. But overall, it's a very strong deck. If you're when you're fighting Mega Colony, I would suggest either switching 2 of these for 2 more Lambroses, or switching the other 2 for 2 more Lambroses, because you're going to probably depend on Lambroses in that matchup, just because they will most likely run that thing that doesn't let you stand if you guard with it, which will totally ruin your play. But well, I mean, basically, if there's a lot of Mega Colony in your meta, since there's no sideboarding in this game, you probably want to run 4 Lambroses. But yeah, overall, very strong deck. One of the strongest I feel, at least Aqua Force has ever gotten. And yeah, it's been Asher, Imaginary Goddess. I hope you guys like this deck profile. And I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.